here is my latest vintage toy film. This is the UK release of the astronaut figure, Action Man. In America he would have been the G.I. Joe astronaut with the G.I. Joe capsule, of course. Coming in a little bit closer, there are some slight differences. The G.I. Joe astronaut, I believe, had the zip section around the waist too, but obviously this guy only has it from top to bottom, across the kind of the shoulder to the waist. This is all vintage, as is the figure itself, although they've just done a beautiful reissue of this, and I recommend anybody that wants one, for sort of £35 ish, which is I guess around $50 or $60, you'll get the doll and the suit. A couple of my pals have got it. You can't tell the difference between the original, it's that good. It's very, very nice. I don't have a huge G.I. Joe or Action Man collection. I wish I did. I could very easily fall into spending a lot of money on that, but as a kid this was always the favourite one. I never had the capsule, but I had the astronaut, and certainly I wanted to be sure to have at least one nice Action Man in my collection, and I wanted to go for this guy. Not boxed, loose, but everything's original there. You've got the camera, there's even a dog tag underneath there I've got, based on the Mercury astronaut suits. Obviously a little bit big for him. It was the original Mercury suits that the 7 wore, was a lot tighter, but it's nice looking suit, to be honest. The capsule, there we go, that's the capsule there. Very similar to the American G.I. Joe version, except the English one actually says Action Man on the top. The panel slides open, there's an interior. It's a little bit of a snug fit, but it's kind of like a Mercury capsule. Lovely looking toy, very big. I've got that loose. I've got all of these loose over the last sort of 15-20 years, upgrading little parts on the astronaut suit till I had a pretty nice loose complete one. A funny story with the box. It was at a toy fair maybe 15 years or so back, and I said to the guy, "Oh, interested in the space capsule?" And at that point I only had the capsule on its own, and the guy said to me, "Oh, sorry, mate, it's not a complete capsule, it's just the box," which made it even more appealing to me. So we agreed on a price which was very reasonable, and then he said, "Oh, there's just one thing, I'm afraid the top's been written on. The kid that got this for Christmas had it inscribed." I went, "Well, that's not a problem." And then I looked and I saw that it says, "To Martin from Father Christmas," and my name is Martin. So as I say, it wasn't mine, but if you're going to have another kid's name inscribed on a box, it may as well be your own name. Very nice artwork on the side there, and equally nice artwork on the front. I always wanted this one desperately as a kid. I can't complain, I had a fantastic set of toys as a child. This wasn't one of them, but it was one I always wanted, so now as a big child I've got one. Like a lot of the stuff that I show, I've got some bits of paperwork and printed stuff that is related, so that might be interesting for you to see. This is one of the Purnell books that were produced in the late 60s to time with different Action Man accessory sets. They did Dive to Danger, Arctic Mystery, Action Man vs the Master Spy, Suicide Saboteurs, and A Date with Disaster. I wanted to get this one because obviously it's the book that ties in with the Astronaut and Capsule. So there you go, that's one part. The instruction sheet, I'll stand up so you guys can see this. The instruction sheet, this is the original instruction sheet for dressing the doll, or the action figure if you have a problem calling it a doll. But to me, if it's articulated and you've got clothes that can come on and off, it's a doll. That's not a problem for me at all. And finally, quite a colourful piece. This is, I believe, the second Action Man catalogue poster that you got with the larger accessories in the figures, and this is the first one to include the Astronaut and Capsule set, I think. If there's any Action Man experts that want to tell me different, please do. I'm not pig-headed enough to be corrected if someone can prove something different to me, but I believe this is the first that included that. Obviously, I think, although as a child I was never particularly into the military side of things, I think everybody that was born or grew up in the mid-60s through to the mid-70s, Action Man, if you're a boy, is a big part of your childhood memories. Incredible piece of work, and obviously deriving from the work that Hasbro had done with G.I. Joe in America. But there you go, a last look of the classic original 1960s Action Man, Space Capsule and Astronaut. And again, as people probably know, I'm a big Gerry Anderson fan. This astronaut figure was used, albeit slightly adapted, in a couple of episodes of UFO. Anyone wants to watch The Man Who Came Back, and they look for the Darren Nesbitt and Ed Bishop characters leaving the spaceship to work on Sid. Look closely and you'll recognise, if you freeze frame on DVD, you'll see that they're actually Action Men characters that have been adapted. And you'll notice that many of the characters in UFO have the capsule in their offices on display as a memento perhaps of their early days in space. Gerry Anderson's model team and set dressers obviously no strangers to the local toy shops to see what could be used. But there you go, I hope you enjoy looking at that. As I always say, there's guys with far bigger Action Man and G.I. Joe collections than me, but I've yet to see anything similar to these. Please do, if you've got stuff, post videos that blow my stuff out of the water, because I'd love to see it. But for the moment, there you go, 1960s original classic boxed Action Man Capsule and Action Man Astronaut. Thanks for watching, fellas. Bye.